Did you know that the presence of God has a sound and that God's voice is described in different ways in the Bible? One of the ways his voice is described is a whisper. And I want to talk to you for a few minutes about Elijah and his experience at the cave on Mount Sinai. It's taken from 1 Kings chapter 19. Elijah has just come off an amazing day in which he had seen the fire of God fall on Mount Carmel. The drought came to an end after 3.5 years, and he outran Ahab's chariot. He had seen the prophets of Baal killed and had given it his best shot. And then he gets a message from Jezebel that says, "May the gods do to me and more if you're not dead by this time tomorrow." And Elijah becomes afraid and he runs. And he starts a journey down into the desert, into the wilderness area. And he comes to a broom tree and he lays down under it. And he's really tired and he says to God, "Lord, it's enough. I've done all I know to do, and I'm no different than my fathers. Let me die." I believe what he was saying to the Lord is, I've given him my best and it's not enough. And he falls asleep. An angel wakes him up twice, feeds him, and tells him the journey's too great. Eat this food. And he goes for 40 days and 40 nights, and he comes to Mount Sinai, and he goes into a cave. And the Lord comes to him in the cave and asks him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" And he tells the Lord that he's been zealous for the Lord and that Israel has broken down the altars. They've killed the prophets, and they're away from you, Lord, and now they're after me to kill me. And then a process starts of supernatural signs where a strong wind comes and blows and breaks the rocks in pieces around the mountain, and then a big earthquake, and then fire comes, but the Bible says the Lord was not in these. And then Elijah hears something. He hears the sound of a low whisper. One translation says it was the sound of a gentle blowing. Another one says a still small voice. And Elijah is moved to get up and come out of the cave. And the Lord asked him again, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Now, I don't think the Lord was rebuking Elijah because he came to him in a whisper. I think he was in a process of helping Elijah get turned around and be able to exit the cave and get into the next chapter of his calling and his life. So Elijah responds to the Lord the same way he did the first time. And then the Lord speaks to him and tells him, "Get up, go back this certain direction and anoint 3 successors." This was a pivotal point in Elijah's life and ministry. And he ends up appointing Elisha as prophet and Jehu and Hazael. And these 3 people end up finishing Elijah's calling and take care of Ahab, take care of Jezebel, and help Israel turn back to God. You may be feeling like, "Lord, I've given it everything I know to do, and it's just not working, and it's just not enough." I've been there. If you're feeling that, Elijah was there too. You may be in your cave where you're not sure how to move forward, and you're not moved by things that are seemingly just spectacular. You need to hear from the sound of God's presence. You need to hear his whisper speak to you. Let me encourage you. The Lord is not forsaken you. And he said to Elijah, there's still 7,000 people in Israel that have not bowed their knee. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not the only one. There are others. And there are others that are going through their cave experience with you. The Lord is still pursuing you. His calling on you is still active. And I encourage you to be still and to listen for the still small voice, the breath of God. And he will give you your next assignment and help you move forward. So the Lord's not against you, and he will help you move forward. Listen for the still small voice.